What is history as an academic discipline? History is the study of the past as described in written documents. Unlike anthropology, for example, which uses direct observation, oral sources, materials, and other sources. History is the attempt to describe the context in which specific human and social phenomena take place through time. It is in part art and in part science. The artistic part of history involves the creation of a narrative or a story, and the art of communicating that narrative effectively and beautifully. The narrative itself is structured along a series of historical questions or problems, which, however, change through time. As a consequence, the historical narrative itself changes over time, and each period will have to write its own version of the past. The scientific part deals with a critical reading of written sources and extracting valid and reliable information. Primary sources for historical analysis are any first-hand evidence of past society. History is practiced by uncovering, analyzing, and merging together selected primary sources in an interpretive framework. In this fashion, historians have built up the framework of facts, events, and dates that serves as a platform upon which history is based. Secondary sources are the writings of later historians about the past, often about the primary sources themselves. These can take many forms, ranging from scholarly monographs to bold attempts at painting a new view of the past. These are called syntheses, to popular works designed to introduce a broad non-professional audience to past history. Auxiliary sciences or knowledge areas are, for example, archival and library sciences, the reading of ancient manuscripts, and various techniques from information technology. History can benefit greatly from insights from other disciplines. Commonly it is divided into diplomatic, military, economic, demographic, political, cultural, and social history, but also minor subfields like history of religions, environmental history, gender history, or public history. Public history, for example, is history undertaken by people outside an academic setting. Now, what do we mean when we say Western civilization? The term Western civilization is inherently ambiguous since the Earth is a globe, and by going west, eventually you will reach east. In any case, Western is usually understood as European, with neighboring areas, and sometimes includes the offshoots of the British Empire. The word civilization, in fact, derives from the Latin word civitas, which means city, and the existence of cities is probably the best measure of when a given society should be classed as a civilization. The existence of cities demonstrate that a society has developed the technical specialization and economic organization that allows large number of people to give up subsistence living such as farming, herding, or hunting. They demonstrate that economic development has reached a point that a substantial excess population not involved in food production can be sustained by those who continue to provide food. This is usually through highly efficient agriculture, which in most cases implies some level of control over the environment. The existence of cities also implies that material culture has provided some reason for men to abandon subsistence for other forms of life, and likewise some motive for the remaining food producers to supply the population of cities, for they would hardly accept such a relationship if it were entirely parasitical. Cities must provide something of value in return. That can be either material improvement in the form of new technology produced by the cities or social organization. The latter could well be associated with the emergence of more efficient agriculture, for the ability to manipulate the environment as necessary for this requires a high degree of organization. However, this relationship begins once the possibility of a population not constantly preoccupied with subsistence exists, A whole range of non-subsistence activities such as art, science, politics, law and entertainment finds new opportunities for expression, and a whole new set of perceptions such as religious ideas and philosophies not based on the subsistence struggle become possible. In the modern age, the vast migration of peoples have led to societies that we regard as multicultural. But even in these cases, the very values that allow such diversity represent a shared set of beliefs. It might seem that any group with such a set of common conceptions should be regarded as a civilization, but the word civilization, however, implies that a society has reached a certain stage of physical development more complex than culture alone. The word civilization implies a complex level of economic, social, or political development which is associated with city or large village life.